Guys get much sleep lately? Not, thank you. Not to my subs who are who can watch whenever they feel like watching. I'm talking about the ones that have to watch. You guys get much sleep lately? I know I'm taking up your time. I know you got other people to see and talk to and troll, and I'm kind of interfering with that. So good. You're the one that decided to take that job, the catnap job. I've never heard of people catnapping before. Like, it's like vampire-ish. You're supposed to sleep just sleep all the way through. Just sleep through. But again, if you have to, when your job is to be like on call, basically that's what it is. It's an on-call job. When you take even like the maintenance guy's job, they have like, you're on call. So if a leak happens in the middle of 3 o'clock in the morning, you got to get your ass up and go over there and freaking take care of the leak. Nice. But yeah, hey, whatever. I mean, it's coming. It's coming. It is on its way. And you know, for the people that just in my life personally, the people that don't believe what I'm saying, I don't pressure anybody to believe it. And that truly is the difference between a Christ-like soul and an antichrist-like soul. The ones that pressure you, the ones that try to make you feel guilty for not doing something, or and again, it goes back to the way, that's right, you know that character Stephen James, SJD, or David, I mean Elijah, I mean Moses, I mean Adam, I mean John the Baptist, I mean Jesus. Look, you have many names because that's what frauds do. They fraudulently have many names. So, going back to speaking of frauds, how they talk, how they communicate, how they respond. If you don't believe what they're saying, see, what happens is the spirit is tested over time, because as time goes by, and you see you can't budge. You can't budge me off of my platform and scootle your way over there. Once you finally recognize that, the true spirit, the vile words, they come up and they spit out your mouth. And that's how you recognize who truly is who. So it goes back to any agents that have commented on my channel, have tried to control my content. I never asked you guys to be a moderator on my channel. I don't do moderations, okay? So that's why some of yous, again, if you see that you can't comment, well, and you say, I've heard this before, I'm unsubbed, I'm out of here, like Andrea, I'm out of here, I'm done, I can't, I still can't believe that you're commenting to Barb. I really can't. I mean, Barb, look, hey, I'm not trying to cause problems, I'm trying to cause division, because you need the ones, I mean, look, if you're sticking up for SJD, right? And or if you're not even making a stand when it comes to, in other words, when he makes his videos, and that's why he hides his comments, because Satan hides, okay, in the dark. He lurks in the dark. So he hides his comments. But when you see the the videos of other people, and it's like, hey, yeah, oh yeah, love, 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 and you're in agreement with this satanic spirit that's so vile and disgusting, well, it means you're not disagreeing with them. You're completely agreeing and going along with it. That's why you're stuck between a rock and a hard place. Why do I continue to talk about this? Huh? Why don't I just let it go? Why should I let the one sheep go? Why should I let the 1% go? The 1% is what I came here for. See, I now know exactly what my role is here on earth right now today, December 8th of 2018. I understand why I'm here. My job from God was to get on YouTube, expose everything, not just one aspect of the sky, not just one aspect of the news and the lying stories that are people getting shot and killed, but also the fact that nobody's dying. Not before Christ comes, not before, okay? Not before. Now again, after, there's something here. God's not quite allowing me to see it fully yet, because I am certain about 7 billion people, for sure. I am certain that we all live through this. I don't know what they might do when everything shuts down. I don't know if, you know, there's evil people out there, right? But you can be changed just like this. So for the evil people out there, if you think it's the apocalypse and you're going to start trying to shoot people for food, and what are you struggling to live? Why would you want to live in a world that's collapsing anyway? I mean, what's the point? Just die and be with God and just move on. Oh, great. He's telling his subs to kill themselves now. Great. Here's that deja vu again. I've been through this, because that truck made that left-hand turn and it was gray. And I said the same exact thing about, because what I envisioned was Jethro's voice and how he tries to pick apart. Jethro, you're pathetic, man. I watched a video from Tyler's, how you're trying to pick apart Angela for Killer Whale for saying make a stand for God. Look, here's what I'm talking about. They might have thought I was going to Dunkin' Donuts, so they had to open their door, stand there like a clown, and they're like, oh crap, he didn't stop. So when you're coming against Angela for her hair being dyed in the one video, like, come on, man. I'll spend a little tiny bit of time on that, all right? But again, out of my last 30 videos, you know, just in the past 2 days, as you can see, I'm laser focused on the shark. I'll expose his workers here and there when I have to, but the focus is the shark, all right? Let's not worry about the little fish that are swimming around. Let's be more concerned about the shark himself. You're caught, Steve. You are caught. And the more people that rise up, the better. Don't be afraid of him. Don't be afraid of him at all. Look, he is supposed to be here to have this strong-ass freaking delusion that God said he would send in these last days. We're the true warriors. We are. Because we know the capabilities of what gang stalkers can do, right? Right? I mean, we know they can poison our dogs. We know they can try to run you off the road. They can do certain things, but there's also other things that they are not allowed to do, and that is touch you. Because Satan, he had to get permission from God to even touch Job. And God was up for the challenge, like, all right, sure, I'll show you what a true servant is. I will test his spirit, and you can tempt him all you want, Satan. I already know the outcome because it's already been done before. So yes, Stephen is here, okay? Why am I harping on Stephen? Because he's the most important topic to talk about right now before everything goes down. He is going to be the ruler of the world. I mean, in his mind, not in my mind, not in God's mind, but God understand. Like, I'm gonna park over here in this parking lot. There's absolutely nobody here, and we'll just see. We'll just see. I'll just stay right here. All right. Okay. Let's see if I can be left alone. $11.11. Yes, I knew it. Whatever that means. What does it mean when you see 11.11? It means you keep seeing 11.11. What's this? Oh yeah, I remember. Steve's own words about you, Andrea. Because you guys are long-time subs, I will talk about you. He's like, well, she's over there commenting on such and such channel. What does that say about her? Well, we know what it says about her. And then the taunting. Just taunting you, Steve. I mean, I'm calling your bluff at 12:12 all day long. I'm still waiting to get zapped, okay, by this heart attack machine, right? I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting to be buzzed by, I don't know, your directed energy weapons. I mean, it's a threat, right? You said that happened to you, correct? You said you died for 3 hours. Yeah. Right. You know, what a blessing it is to have a couple nurses on my channel that can verify personally, especially Sheena, with her own father, can personally verify that it's physically impossible, okay? Unless you're Jesus Christ himself, which you freaking damn sure aren't. You can say whatever you want to say, Steve. Your actions is what shows it. Just like the loser agents that when you disagree with me, yeah, I call you an agent because you continue to come to my channel with such a strong, vile opinion, and you won't leave. So you're there for a purpose. That's the proof. Well, prove it. Prove that I get a paycheck. You know I can't prove that, but you know it's true. I can prove it by the circumstantial evidence that you dig out of people. Like, for instance, when I went to court to get full custody of my son against his mom, which is like, literally, it isn't a possible thing to have happen, right? So when I go to court, well, I found out that my son didn't tell me because he was only a kid. He didn't want to get in trouble. But I found out from an angel, okay, an earthly angel that was part of her family member, actually, her aunt. And I found out from her some very valuable information twice. One time that she stole in Kmart with my son beside her, and they let her get away because she had a kid with her, so they didn't want to lock her. That's exactly what she used it for, in case she gets caught. And then shooting up in the back seat with my son back there, and in the Badlands, Kenton and Somerset, in that area, on Christmas Eve, the one time when she had her visitation rights because I was taking her to court for all this. I was slowly, when I got out of jail, I took her to court 6 months later and got emergency custody with her parents because her parents were on my side because they've already been through that in their life. So what happens is I get this information, okay? I can't prove it. I can't prove it. But when I went to court, the perfect timing was, well, Your Honor, I don't feel as though she's a very good influence to my son because, number one, she got caught stealing in Kmart with my son there with her. And then she looks at my kid's mom like, you want to explain? She's like, well, yeah, but see, here's a... I had no proof. I was just told by a source. But the proof is how you present it at the perfect timing. So because she opened up her own freaking can of worms on that, now, okay, you're guilty. So I proved that she was guilty just by saying something that I knew, but I couldn't prove it. And then the same thing with shooting up with my son in the car. I've mentioned that also. And then she had to explain that because she OD'd in front of my son, okay, with a needle in her arm with 2 other junkies driving. And so this was an ongoing thing. And then that's when I finally got complete full custody. And then because I got full custody, well, Satan got a little pissed off at that. And it wasn't good enough for her, so she would continue to harass me. I swear she works for you, Steve. I mean, I swear she works for you. But here I am. I'm still on probation, a state sentence. I had 5 years of probation to walk off after I got out in 2014. So in 2009, right before I was almost done, she accused me of beating my son because he had allergies. His eyes were like, he had just like allergy looking eyes. So she accused me of that. Her boyfriend was yelling at me. Every time I go pick up my son, I got this demon trying to attack me. I always brought my camera just in case. I'm like, go ahead, say what you say, what you gotta say. Poor guy overdosed and died a few years back. I don't wish that on anybody. Although, you know, he's with God, period. We are all eternal beings, is what I'm trying to tell you. We all live. So even if we die. So, next thing you know, I got my parole officer. I had to call my parole officer because the cops knocked on my door, the detectives, to come and check on me, my son, my wife, my stepson. We're all there. And there's an accusation that my son is getting beat by me. And then DHS came in also to investigate, to question him. And I had to also tell my PO that I'm being accused of beating my son. Now, I don't take accusations lightly, so I had absolutely enough. And once I told the detectives, I said, look, I'm going to show you the proof next week. Next week came around. I went to court. I happened to get there first. This was the second time I went to court to try to get a restraining order from a gang stalker. Okay? That happened to be in my life. I got there first. I winded up getting a real lawyer instead of a public defender. God's timing. She decided not to show up. She thought it wasn't a big deal because the first time I tried, she didn't show up. They didn't grant it to me. Second time around, granted. How many years did I have a restraining order against her? 3. Oh, man. I got proof. I got the papers and everything. I can show it, but there's no point. 3-year restraining order to protect me from harassment. Not that it's just a demonic spirit in a vessel. I'm not worried about the person. I was more concerned about the influence. And then on top of that, a 3-year restraining order to protect her from my son. That's how bad she was. And I don't, you know, she's not that bad now, but still, those spirits, she talks to dead people, okay? She's admitted, she literally admitted that she was married to you, Steve, in her past life. Straight up. She didn't say Steve, but she said the devil. I believe her. I mean, I believe her. Trust me, yeah, I can see this resemblance. It's like, you know, it's like the witch and the warlock. Married with children. And then she tried to take me to court even again afterwards to try to get the right to, because she used to have the right to talk to my son every night and just feed his, and this is when he was only 7, 8 years old. Feed his head with so much freaking demonic bullshit, man, that I couldn't take it anymore. So when we went to court, when I finally got the restraining order, it was such, oh man, it was another one of those feelings like that. Like when that maintenance guy got fired for, he rightfully deserved to get fired. Yes. When I got out of jail after that 1.5 years, yes. It's all trials and tribulations. Trials and tribulations. And when I get the verdict from this trial right now that we're going through, I'm just bringing in my witnesses. Look, whoever stands up, you want me to put you on camera and show that you have the back armor of God? I will be more than happy to do it. If you're a fraud, I'll find out. I'll discern immediately. Because I'm not going to be deceived again. I said it a long time back, then I typed it in Gematria before I truly had shown Stephen who I believe he is. Now I understand even more who he is. It's just evidence is piling on top and top. It's getting overwhelming. The evidence that I have that Steve is the leader of the gang stalking here in America, at least, and he is literally playing the Antichrist role and playing the Jesus role, and he literally thinks he is Satan. That's how deceived Satan has his dumb ass. So she took him back to court and tried to ask for, to be able to call him again. And this is like within a year's period of time. I had a restraining order for 2 more years. It was so bad the judge denied every request that she had. I felt bad for her. I did, but she deserved it. You know what I mean? And then I left it up to my son if he wanted to talk to her. I took him away, yeah, from the beginning and detoxed him. And then after time, I let him think for himself. Do you want to talk to her? Do you want to see her? Because she had her visitation rights, but man, did she abuse them. Christmas Eve was one of her visitation rights. She shot up dope and OD'd. Every Wednesday was her visitation right. She took him to Kmart, got caught stealing. See what I'm saying? I give people chances. I gave SJD a chance, and now he's hanging himself with the rope that I gave him. How's your neck feel, Steve? Is it tight? Are you losing air? I mean, I know you want to choke the shit out of me. I know you want to kill me. I know. And I understand that. And I know that you have the power to do it when the expiration date comes. But remember this, Steve. God knows when you are going to turn your face against the fort of your own land. He knows that he's using his people to rise up against you because you're being exposed truly for who you are now. That's my job here on earth, to expose you. Because you are the biggest shark that I know, that I literally have talked to for numerous amount of hours. So I don't let up. The foot is to the pedal. Now, I would sound a little more huskier if I was in my car, but in the Batmobile. But, yeah, hey, look, when I'm encouraged to stop talking about them, I know I need to continue. So, I accept all comments. If they're spit and spew, then you're gonna have to make another account. Maybe that's why I got so many subscribers, because I know which ones are trolling me, and I flag you. But you got to remember to unsubscribe to me, okay? Before you subscribe to me with another troll account. And the reason why it's obvious is because I read my comments and I see, okay, this is a new one. This is a new one. But oh boy, does the subscribing sound so familiar, like someone's been watching me from the beginning. Satan is super predictable, but listen. Satan learned his lesson the last time. Because he received the death blow when he killed Christ with Judas, when he deceived Judas, he's using Judas's vessel again through Stephen, James, and Sean once again towards the end. However, this time, Satan learned his lesson. He knows that he has to get all of his flunkies to believe what he's going to do. Okay? This is the difference between Satan using the vessel of the person who... See, I didn't believe that anybody was truly going to walk the earth and say that they are Satan. And I don't know when Stephen's going to decide to say that, but it's obvious as all hell as to who he is now. So if he had a set of balls and he's Satan, wouldn't he tell you? You know what I mean? So maybe you're like more of a feminine type of a Satan. I mean, that's kind of what Satan's influence is. It's like, it's just as simple as this. You have God's influence over here, you have Satan's influence over here. It's not that Satan is some low-life piece of crap, you know what I mean? He's giving you the option. Do you want to enjoy the pleasures of the world and your flesh and never be satisfied, digging into the bottomless pit of your desires? And then God's over here, you know, which do you want to pick from the fruit and take that bite of that fruit? Or do you want to leave it alone? It's all about free will. So that the energy of God is over here and the energy of Satan is over here. It's all connected together. God created everything. So when Satan's influence is done, that angel, that fallen angel, I believe he's going straight back to original form. Because his purpose on earth is to get everybody to know the difference between good and evil. Everybody now knows the difference. I mean, shortly, we all will know the difference. But we all do know evil. And the ones that chose good, well, you're no longer choosing evil anymore because you already know it. You don't want anything to do with it. Satan's purpose, his influence on earth is divine. It's like, it's God, and it just goes from the tree of life, good, evil. The tree is God. He gives you the option. Pick the fruit or don't pick the fruit. Know what evil is or don't know what evil is. You'll be like God. You won't be God. You'll be like him because you'll know the difference between good and evil. Do you think God made and created everybody and was like, oh crap, I shouldn't have done that, because he destroyed everybody in the flood? No, he didn't. Because he kept 8 souls that were saved. Eight souls were saved, but more people were on that boat because they're called beasts. 2 unclean. Him and his woman. This nationality over here and his wife. You got the Asian guy, you got the Asian wife. You got the Mexican guy, you got the Mexican wife. You got the white guy, you get the white guy. White wife. And then you got, and they're from the unclean beast. And then of every clean beast you got by the 7s. Him and his woman. So yeah, more people were saved on that boat. I mean, that's why Satan continued on. Because how is it that all of a sudden, what was it, Ham or Shem, seen his father naked? I mean, who told you that he was naked besides Satan? Who told Adam and Eve they were naked? Satan did. So it just continued on. Now, the bloodline is here because you kept it in the family. You know what I mean? And now that you guys are going to start hiding into your Archie bunkers, you guys are the ones that are the remnant. You guys are the ones that are going to run after everybody else is trying to run to the FEMA camps and get protection and some housing and some food and some water. It's not going to last long. That's all. That's my faith. It's my belief. And I know that the evil, well, they don't understand anything. They just they have to believe. It's God's purpose for you guys to believe what you are saying. It's God's purpose for you to be so damn delusional and confident in a time of trouble that it actually makes me laugh. And on top of that, it builds my confidence even more through the roof. And that's just the way it is. When you figure out, when you begin to understand. I will never say I'm Jesus Christ, but I'll just say, when you begin to understand the mystery of this freaking fraudulent ass book that I got going on here. Yeah, it tells you the truth, but it also tells you lies. So, which one's which, Steve? I mean, how many more things do I have to type in there that's going to line up with 666, the mark of the beast? I mean, apparently, according to you, even though it's how you think, if you don't have the seal of God in your